The Flyers just put together a really solid W. They go into New York. That's a good team. I mean, statistically, number one in the NHL when it comes to defense. They go into the Islanders arena. You never really know which one it is, but you go into their arena. You get the job done. You win 4-1, and you were convincing. You really dominated the Islanders today. A nice Sunday afternoon game. You flip around and see some college hoops, some NBA basketball, Celtics, Houston Rockets. And nothing like a nice Flyers tilt on a Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. How about it? So we go in there and we take care of business. Now, before the game, no Voracek. We find out Voracek will not be playing, a lower body injury, classic good old hockey injury, lower body, you don't really be specific. Then early in this game, Nolan Patrick takes a clapper right to the side of the dome. He starts bleeding, he couldn't get up, he had to get helped off. Well, that just shows Scott Gordon was able to really put something together here. A lot of line variations, playing with different people. He was just behind the bench and letting guys play, throwing guys together, and he did a great job. Also, the defensive coach, switching around 7 defensemen once again. The coaching staff has to get a round of applause for this W, because they were convincing, they dominated, they really played every asset of the game perfectly, and with 10 forwards and 7D, you got to give them credit. That was really great out of that coaching staff. Plus, Brian Elliott put on one hell of a performance. I thought he was going to get a shutout, but with under 5 minutes left, the Islanders squeak one in. The Flyers take this one 4-1, and early in this game, what I loved is Travis Konecny feeding off of his last game. Short side, puts one in, we're up 1-0. Early in this game, I believe it was about 8 minutes in, Konecny just literally makes an outstanding play going hard to the net. With about 5 minutes left in the period, Travis Sanheim cleans one up in the slot area. He's been producing offensively as a defenseman as of late. I remember making fun of him during our 8-9 game losing streak, saying, who the hell is Travis Sanheim? I expected better. Well, this is the Travis Sanheim that I expected, and he's been definitely on a solid streak here as he's been getting more time. He needs to clean up the defensive zone stuff, but offensively, Travis Sanheim has definitely been performing to a level that I like for his age. So we're up 2-0. Early in the third, Scott Lawton puts us up 3-0. And then later on, Sean Couturier's driving hard to the net. He picks up his 27th of the season. He's been tearing it up as of late. Cootie has been playing on fire. 27th, and we're up 4-0. Third period, it was more like, let's just play our game, make sure we get the puck deep, not try anything crazy, and win this hockey game, and that's exactly what we did. But Brian Elliott played awesome, and I mentioned this. His storyline right now is a little crazy because Cam Talbot's here, because Carter Hart's the stud for the future. What's his job right now? He doesn't know, but guess what? He's not done. He's not just packing it in, saying, well, this isn't my team for the future. He's playing, he's competing, he's battling, and you gotta love that. You know who else is battling? Travis Konecny. He drops the mitts in the third period, just playing with passion. Seriously, he's having a great stretch here, putting the puck behind the goaltenders, and he's hitting Jordan Eberle. Actually, he got hit by Jordan Eberle. He gave him some punches, said, let's go. And it was a good fight to the point where they had good leverage on each other. I don't know if anyone landed anything great, but they were throwing uppercuts, they were throwing punches, and Konechny's just playing with this attitude and this passion right now that I absolutely love. It started against the Devils. Well, I mean, he always plays with that edge, but it started against the Devils once Nolan Patrick got hit from behind, and he kind of just rallied from there in that game, and he's feeding off of it, and I love it. It's just great to see as he picks up his 21st goal of the season. Giroux was the only one with a multi-point night. He had 2 points, and the list of players with one was Cootie, Gudis, Robert Haig, Konecny, Lindblom, Raffel, Sanheim, Lawton. So a lot of people on the board when it came to grabbing points tonight and well, today, this afternoon. But the Flyers, they're just not going away. I know it's a tough stretch, a tough road here to get into the playoffs when you look at the Penguins, the Hurricanes, and the Columbus Blue Jackets. It's going to be tough to actually make our way into the playoffs, but they're not going away. They're making the team sweat, and who knows with what happens with Columbus and the Jets tonight. Right now, after this win, we're 5 points back, but there's still games in hand, and teams still have to play games, so we're winning, but so are the other teams, and that's the issue. You would think at some point those other teams are going to fall if the Flyers are going to continue to win, but it just doesn't seem that way right now. So all we can do is control our own destiny. Well, we can't control our own destiny, but all we can do is control our play, continue to win games, and just see where it ends at the end of this season. We play the Washington Capitals on Wednesday. Obviously, they're a tremendous squad, and I believe they took over the #1 slot in the Metropolitan now over the Islanders. And then we actually play the Islanders again. So when you take a look at the rest of this stretch, there's 16 games left. Well, 12 of them are against playoff contending squads right now. It doesn't get easier. The teams we play are definitely very solid. And, I mean, it's a test. It's going to be a test to see where this team really is. In regards to injuries, you need to take a look at what happened to Nolan Patrick and the way he blocked that shot side of the head. Hopefully he's okay. He's been getting crushed lately, whether it's from behind against the Devils or just blocking a shot that, no one's intention was to hit him in the head, but that stuff happens. Hopefully he's okay. He's definitely had concussions before. He really had to get helped off, so I'm hoping he's okay, because that was scary. He was bleeding from the side of his head, and you take a clap block, millions of shots in my life. I've never taken one off the dome like that, a clap bomb in the slot when you're going down the block one. I could only imagine. Hopefully he's okay. I would expect him to be out for a little bit of time, to be honest with you, but same with Voracek. What's that injury? I mean, that lower body came down pretty much around game time, so that's something that's concerning as well. But all around, I am very impressed with this team. I am tremendously impressed with this coaching staff, because it just can't go unnoticed what he's been doing with these lines, throwing lines around. I mean, you have to when you lose two forwards like that, but it's hard to adjust like that on the fly in the middle of a game going up against the best defensive team in the National Hockey League. You got to give him credit. And the 7D thing. Now, guys like Ghost have been quiet, and it's a little concerning, but then guys like Philip Myers is out there making plays. He had one play in the first period. He flipped the puck up from the defensive zone and hit Hartman on like a mini breakaway. That play was awesome. Now, we didn't score, but just a really great play. And then there was another phenomenal one where Claude Giroux on a 2-on-1 shows his poise and throws a saucer backdoor to Oscar Lindblom. That just was a little high. It was a shame. I thought he was going to bury it. Hit a wide open goal backdoor, but he just missed. As for the Islanders, net minding today wasn't strong, and that clearly helped the Flyers, which is crazy. But is this Islanders for real? I mean, they talk about Barry Trotz. They talk about losing Tavares and Barzal. Not losing Barzal, but they talk about losing Tavares and having Barzal, and no one would have ever expected them to be where they were, and now they're starting to slip. Now they're not in first place anymore. I wonder where this Islanders team is really going to go moving forward. It will be interesting to see, because they've been at the top for quite some time here, and the back stretch is coming. So I'm curious to see if they can actually keep it up, because let's be real, on paper, how the hell are they where they are in the playoff race? Proud of this team once again, continuing to battle, playing with passion, playing with a lot of fight, not giving up, and you got to give them credit for that. They're giving us watchable hockey, and we're just going to have to kind of look at the standings, which sucks. After every night I'm seeing here, I got to go on the NHL app, check out who lost, check out the scores, because we need so much help. It's not like the Hurricanes are getting any colder. They're keeping up the same streak we are. The Penguins, they seem a little faulty. The Blue Jackets even seem a little faulty right now. So we have to keep praying that things like that go south for them, because we need to keep up this pace while those teams fall. Something tells me it can come down to the last game of the year. We all remember 2010, right, where we went to a shootout the last game of the year to make the playoffs. We end up making it with a crazy save, and we go to the Stanley Cup Finals. It's going to be something of that nature to get into the playoffs. It's going to have to come down to the last game, something wild. We need one team to lose while we win, and just something nuts like that. That's how it's going to have to be. But all we can do is continue to go out there, play games, compete, play with this edge that we're playing with. You got to build off what Konecny's doing. It definitely goes in the locker room. Guys like Konecny fighting Eberle, you're telling me that doesn't spice up the boys in the locker room? Claude Giroux, the leaders, Cootsy, guys, like, look at this kid. Look at this kid and the way he's playing, and they just feed off that, and that's the way the Flyers have been playing through their last multiple games. So I'm very proud of them. I'm proud of pretty much everyone today, and I can look at everyone, coaching staff, players, netminder. I can look at everyone and be really, really happy with how it's gone so far, and especially tonight in particular. I keep saying tonight, this afternoon. It saved me. It saved me. Of course, I was checking out some college hoops and some NBA basketball, but when there's no personal tie, it's not the same. Sundays are a little boring after football. You got to find your fix. And when the Sixers aren't on the 3:30 ABC game, you need some Flyers hockey. You need some dump and chase. You need some Konecny fights. You need some Nolan Patrick blocking shots with his face. That's what you need. By the way, if you didn't notice, it's the Bryce Harper effect. big win for the Fly guys. It's going to be tough, though. That Washington Capitals team, even though it's not the year they were last year when it comes to points and all that, they're fighting, and some of their players are stepping up big time. They're obviously a very offensive powerhouse. We're going to have our work cut out for us, especially if we're going to be injured with Voracek, Patrick. We'll have to see how all that plays out. So thank you guys so much for listening. Comment down below on your thoughts, and I'll see you next time.